Hi guys, this is Chris with IPGRentals.com, and today we're going to go through the Ronin S with one of its create modes called Motionlapse. Let's check it out. Okay, so right in front of me I have our DJI Ronin S and our A7S II with a 16-35 Canon lens on it and a Metabones E to EF adapter. On the last episode that we did with the DJI Create modes, we did the track mode with our little Godfather video. And if you want to check that out, that was actually, we'll put a link at the end of this video for it. So right now, we want to talk about the motion lapse. And in the motion lapse, gives you the opportunity to do a time lapse but add very small, very precise motion to it to make it look very stylized, very, very creative. So, you know, when you see like a cityscape or something like that, where it comes off the buildings and you can see the cars going by, you know, at a super speed, that's a motion lapse right there. So, DJI has come up with a really good way to do that, and it goes through the app on your phone. So just something to mention though before we get started, we are using the control cable that's designated specifically for Sony cameras on this. However, we're using an A7S II, which is the one camera, the newer camera that DJI has not really released full control to yet. You can fully control the camera with the app with the A7R and the A7 III. So we're using the camera, so we're actually going to have to do some of the settings on the camera for a good portion, and then we're going to use control on our app itself for another bit of control for it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into this app right here, and you'll see, I'm going to go ahead and you see that it has the create modes. And in these create modes, you're going to see that there's capture, panorama, time lapse, motion lapse, track, and camera. We did track, so we're going to go ahead and click right here on motion lapse. And it's extremely simple. You just have to bear in mind what you have on your camera for settings versus what you have on the motion lapse settings. So right now on this camera, I have the shutter set for 4 seconds because I want to see that really cool ghosting halo effect. Where it's not quite, you know, super crisp, fast images. It's more kind of blended together, which is a nice stylized choice, I think. So you can do up to 10 points here. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do just simple 2 points. And you can see that there's interval, content duration, frame rate, and then you can see the trash can at the top left, and then the plus sign, and that'll give you more points to do. So just like in the track points, you would click on 1 and you can see that the camera just moved to my position 1, and you can go ahead and use your joystick on the back of the Ronin S to change the points, and you can see the points moving. And then you can do that, or on the bottom right of your app you can see that there is a little digital joystick, and you can actually move that to move your camera, and you can see it's moving. So I'll go back here. So there's our point 1. And I'm going to go ahead and click over to point 2, and you can see the camera moves, and that's point 2. So let's say I don't like that position. I'm going to go ahead and move it. So I'm going to just come to this joystick on here, and I'll move it a little further. All right. So we have our 2 points right now. And so now that we have number 1 and 2, I went back to 1. So let's talk about this. If I have a shutter speed of 4 seconds, that means it's a very long exposure. You want to make sure that your intervals are long enough to where it's not going to be moving during the actual release of your picture. So 4 seconds, and then kind of bear in mind, you know, how fast it takes to kind of move the camera position. So let's go ahead and be on the safe side and just say, I don't know, let's just say 7 seconds, right? Now, content duration is very cool too, because it kind of helps you know how many pictures you're going to end up taking in the long run. So say you want, I don't know, let's go ahead and say 5 seconds of total content, right? We're in the middle of a sizzle video, and we want to do a quick cityscape. How many seconds do we need? We need 5 seconds to kind of fill that little space. So 5 seconds of duration, and then the frame rate right here, which we have at 24 frames. And it actually tells you on the bottom how many total pictures you're going to take and how long it's going to take to capture this. So it's really cool if you have to run out and you have a producer that's saying, hey, how long do you need to get this? Well, I need precisely 14 minutes to get that. Obviously travel time is a factor, but that's a whole nother thing. 14 minutes it would take for me to put my camera down, hit this button, it'll be done in 14 minutes. So it's actually a very good plus when you're trying to figure out, schedule and crunch time. So it is as easy as hitting that center button right here, and it will begin. Now, like I said before, it doesn't. You can't set the shutter and everything inside this app because of the A7s not having the best communication with the Ronin. Not yet, anyway. We're hoping that they're going to release some sort of a firmware for that. But as you just heard, the shutter just clicked, and here it is again. So you can't quite see it here, but after every picture, see that the little motion of it, you'll see it start to move, and this will make a seamless, really smooth look. And you see 2% complete on the app right here, so it's happening right before your very eyes. So because I press play here, obviously you have to have a card in the camera, but because I press the go button here, the commence button, if you will, it has now started the process. So all you got to do is put your phone down, go have a cup of coffee, and come back to it, and it will be done in 14 minutes. Now take a look at some of the cool motion lapses that we were able to get in Orlando. So it's a very super easy process, and it can get you something that is very cinematic, very interesting, especially since you're all these the interior camera settings are at your disposal. So your shutter is a huge thing. So if you wanted that really nice long exposure, long kind of color smear look, you can get that. Just completely up to you what you want to do on your camera, and then you can do all of those different points. So it can be 10 points, so you could do all these different moves on here. And so when it's done, it tells you that it's done. You go ahead and throw it in post as an image sequence, and you're done. And because you are shooting RAW, you can shoot any kind of codec you want, but because we're shooting RAW in this camera, the pictures are really crisp. The resolution is really good, so that it definitely takes you a step up there. So that's really it. You can hear that the camera's clicking away over here, getting our motion lapse, and in 14 minutes, it'll be out of the oven and ready to take a look at what we got. We're constantly updating our online repertoire of video with tips and tricks about the gear that we offer. So like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, it's our gear, it's your vision, IPGrentals.com.